What is it about management that, were you sorted in your head for a long time that this is what I want to do?
Well, no, I initially wasn't sorted in my head as to what I wanted to do. It's like people generate their thoughts when they are into the bachelor's of education, like be it engineering or non-engineering fields, and then they realize what they want to do. I mean, as there's a famous saying, right? If you want to change something in the 20th century, be a lawyer. If you want to change something in the 21st, be an MBA. So I guess probably that applied for me.
Right. And how much of it really, if I could ask you there, how much of it has to do with, say, peer pressure of what people are doing around you? Does that sort of really figure, you think, not just in your case, but say the world around you?
Maybe that was the in thing that that the graduation only doesn't help, and MBA is one ladder that takes you, a long distance. So that could be a reason which creates the peer pressure and people opt for it. But not generally. There are people who feel that there are some gaps which needs to be plugged in, and that's where MBA comes in and helps you develop that required skill set to grow.
Right. What is the one thing that you're hoping that an MBA is going to give you that perhaps something else would not?
Maybe an edge over what I wanted to do, like it be giving me more of awareness about the outside world, the knowledge and the learnings that I require to gel up with the outside world and to come out with the flying colors.
The main purpose of coming here, as it is said, is placements. But then it all depends from person to person, whether he or she is here for the learning, or whether he or she is here for the money, or whatever it is. So it's all subjective, what you are here for. So that's what I think.
But is it possible, say, in your opinion, to strike that balance between the learning and the money? I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of luck that goes into it, which is why, like she said very articulately, it doesn't help to worry. But
frankly, we do not have much time to worry about. We do not have much time to worry about those things. But yeah, but at the end of the day, I think an MBA is as good as you are. So whatever you want to pursue in your life, you can pursue. And I think MBA gives an edge. Definitely gives you an edge over that.
Okay, this is something I've been trying to understand, because when I asked that question, I was pretty sure that gives you an edge would come up. And I frankly have just trying to understand, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean? How does it give you, like, how do you define it? Is it tangible, intangible? What is it? Is it what gives you an edge? A better job, a better remuneration?
Well, it's like a free, it's not like a free ticket to Bollywood or something like that. But yeah, something on the lines of that, you get to network more with proper alumni. We have many respected alumni all over the world. Right. So that definitely helps.
I believe MBA is full of opportunities. So taking a personal note, so while I was working with a company at a, say, 40,000 package, 3 months down the line when I joined, I again got a internship at about 50,000. So there are a lot of opportunities here in MBA, opportunities to do case studies, opportunities to interact with the industry through live projects, and then through summer internships and placements.
Probably like to bring about a change in the work culture. The seriousness level has gone too high. I agree the seriousness is required, but combining it with fun would be fun. So probably bringing out a little bit of change in the work culture, if that could happen, if I
really?
could.
Because I mean, usually one is told that we're sort of too used to this chalta hai and too used to chill yaar.
No,
and,
not the chill part, but maybe the fun part. There's very thin line of difference between fun. Yeah, you should enjoy, and if I could make my employees or people working or my colleagues love what they do, I think I would consider that as an achievement.
It's pretty awesome to have your own venture and be your own boss, but then there are a lot of deterrent factors. One of them is that you need a steady source of income once you graduate from here, because you need to pay back your student loan. Secondly, the work-life balance. It becomes all the more important when it comes to women. So especially in the initial stages of a startup, you need to compromise a lot on your personal life. And I think that is one of the biggest deterrent factors for me.
So what I'm saying that I believe that MBA colleges, they teach you how to calculate the risk, how to plan the venture, but they don't teach you how to take that risk. People here are a bit like scared, okay, this is the risk that I'm going to take, or maybe I'll fail or not. So that's the thing I believe.
I have joined IIM right out of my undergrad college, and the only sole motive was to get into the professional world, into a corporate job, not really a technical job, and probably get into the best of the companies. And I guess that is probably the reason for a majority of the students here.
Okay. So right now I've been talking about how all of you should get into startups, and the majority of you clearly don't want to. So is college really a means to an end for something like that?
An entrepreneur really doesn't require college or a college degree. That's probably why most of the biggest businessmen in the world are all college dropouts. And if you take, for example, our college, IIM Bangalore, currently I think only 2 people out of 400 are going to take up entrepreneurship. That's like 0.5%. And that's what, the better the college, the more prestigious it is, the less likely they're going to take up entrepreneurship. And that is the biggest problem really, because these are the most talented people and they're not going into entrepreneurship. They're going to take up some job in some multinational company and do some particular task day and night.
We do have an idea and we also want to start up, but again, like I said, you need a steady source of income when you graduate from here. You need to pay back your loans. You need to settle down in your life, let's face it. So being an entrepreneur, you will, in the beginning, you won't have any income. It's all the investment that goes in, and hence that is one of the biggest deterrent factors that you do not want to take that risk.
Most people who have just passed out from an MBA college would agree that this is a very grueling process, because at the end of the day, this is the career that will span for the next 20-25 years. It's not just one job that you're going for. And secondly, it all happens so fast because most colleges are going for a structured process now, in which you have 50 companies, 100 companies coming in the span of 4 to 5 days. So essentially, even if somebody goes through a rejection, there is actually no time to recover from that. You just have to brace yourself for the next company which is there and make sure that you put in your best foot forward. So that's why it becomes essential, very, very essential, so as to bear the pressure in the right and the most optimal way, so as to get the best result. Because this is very important. This is why you've come to an MBA. Even though it's about knowledge and several other things, at the end of the day, placements are the most critical factor and the reason for coming to an MBA.
That's actually quite candid, because at the end of the day, yes, there are all those who would say we came here for knowledge and we came here to expand our skills and to see, but yes, even I have always believed that at the end of the day, this is what you're here for.
So you need to have a proper balance between the soft skills as well as the functional skills that the recruiters are looking into. So you need to say you are the person who is going to be that proper culture fit that the recruiter is looking forward to. You need to also be a person who has that some basic functional understanding of the role that you're going to be into. You have some understanding of the some in-depth analysis as well as exactly how you're going to be in your career and what the company stands for. Once you have all these 3 elements, understanding of the company, of yourself, and you have that basic soft skill deliverance, I believe that you have a very good chance to crack an interview. So at times what students do expect is that, okay, if we have a content preparation, that's what is going to be us in the final interview. That's not exactly the case. So one of the interviews, company which I wanted to be in, they did not ask me anything whatsoever related to my past experience about the content preparation, nothing at all. The entire discussion went on about my life, my decision, my family, my girlfriend, all this and that, everything all together. The entire discussion was so overwhelming at times. I was wondering what is happening right now.
Psychology, I would say, is one field where there's so many things to do within psychology. Like there's clinical, there's child. So for these things, it's more important to get your master's degree or say your MPhil or your even PhD and then work. Because in that, you need to get your education in place and then work.
Right.
And there's one part of psychology which deals with organization, behavior and HR. So there's just a few of us who would be interested in getting work experience and then doing your masters. Also especially for students who want to apply to the US, they need either 4 years of education or a good work experience. So there are very few people from psychology who actually seek placement.
I think that more than us, it's our parents who think about our post-college prospects, right? I mean, I'm studying English, so the typical reaction that I got from my parents or whatever was, what are you going to do after that? And it's not like the liberal arts is still a very niche thing to do in India. I mean, it's not a mainstream thing to do. It's still doctors and engineers who do everything. So my mother's concern primarily was, what are you going to do to support yourself? Because it's not it's a particularly lucrative thing to do. I mean, I don't have many, normally, graduates from the liberal arts wouldn't have many, taxable skills, like you won't, it won't really result in anything like quantifiable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like coming back to your question, I think when I joined college in the beginning, again, I'm also from the English department. So when I joined college in the beginning, I don't think my placements or a job were on my agenda as such, especially after graduation. I think especially again for as far as like my stream is concerned, it was always, masters and probably then go for a PhD and then go for the whole professorial route, which actually now I don't think is on my agenda anymore. Like I have a job in hand and I actually plan to like go through with it and see where it leads me to.
I think it depends from person to person, and it depends on the kind of family they come from. I mean, a lot of my friends are taking the year off to figure out what they want to do. So they'll either spend it interning or, or they'll spend it studying, something on the side. So that finally after a year, they're in line with the next batch to give the next set of entrances. Or, people who didn't have time to study for it now will take the year off to figure it out. So honestly though, although it was considered taboo earlier, I think like taking some time off to figure out what you want to do is completely all right. Like I don't think it's a big deal anymore.
Absolutely.
And more people seem to be okay with doing that.
People coming to your house after your 12th results and you're answerable to them that how much did you score, kya hua, kaise hua, what are your plans and everything. And it's not only about graduation. It's about what is after graduation, where do you want to go, you want to study abroad or India and whatever. Dude, that is my life. I am answerable to my parents, that they are answerable to my relatives. And whatever we say that society doesn't influence our decisions, it does, because we are part of this society. And we need
you can't really,
we can't get an escape from that.
You're someone who's involved with the placement cell. So is there a certain kind of student with a certain kind of educational background or sort of studying a certain subject who are more likely to come to you to look for placements? Is there some sort of formula here, or?
We obviously have some companies looking for specialized placements. So we do have a lot of students from, obviously BCom department prefers to get placed as compared to maybe a psychology department, right?
But explain that a little bit more. What is so obvious about it?
Alright, so when you're studying psychology, you probably are not necessarily looking to get into the corporate world. But when you are a BCom student or maybe an economics student, you know that's what you want to do with your life and you are not going to get into another field.